By the time you finish booking your flights for 2026, the bucket list destination you've been dreaming of might already be closed to you. We aren't just talking about long lines anymore. We are talking about hard caps, mandatory time slots, and new entry taxes designed to keep you out. If you don't know which UNESCO sites are slamming the doors shut, you could waste thousands of dollars flying halfway across the world just to be turned away at the gate. Stick around for number 1. It's the most famous site on Earth, and its new restrictions for 2026 are going to ruin a lot of vacations. Welcome back to the List Quest. We find the world's most fascinating places so you don't get stuck in a tourist trap. Today, we're counting down the top 10 UNESCO World Heritage Sites that are actively limiting visitors. We'll break down the new restrictions, the insane costs you need to budget for, and most importantly, the better alternatives where you can still feel like an explorer, not a sardine. Let's get into it. At number 10, Kyoto's Gion District, Japan. It's the historic streets of Kyoto. The limit. Japan is done with polite requests. As of recently, tourists are banned from private alleys in the Gion Geisha district with fines for trespassing. In 2026, expect these no-go zones to expand as over-tourism hits breaking points. Why it's overrated? You go for the memoirs of a geisha vibe, but you get a memoirs of a mosh pit reality. You are shoulder to shoulder with thousands of people, paying $300 a night for a shoebox hotel room, all to take a photo of a street you aren't allowed to walk on. Go instead. Kanazawa. It's just 2 hours away by train. It has beautifully preserved samurai and geisha districts, amazing seafood, and zero bans on walking down the street. You get the actual Edo period atmosphere for about half the price. Best time? Late October for autumn colors without the Kyoto crush. At number 9, Plitvice Lakes, Croatia. The limit. They now have a strict hourly entry cap. If you don't book your specific time slot weeks or months in advance for 2026, you aren't getting in. Period. Why it's overrated? It's gorgeous, sure, but shuffling along a narrow wooden boardwalk in a single-file line behind 5,000 other people isn't connecting with nature. It's a conveyor belt with waterfalls. Plus, you can't swim. Go instead. Una National Park, Bosnia and Herzegovina. Just across the border. The Strbatsky Buk waterfall rivals anything at Plitvice. It's wild, raw, costs a fraction of the price, around $10 entry, and you don't need a reservation 6 months in advance just to look at water. Coming in at number 8, the Acropolis, Greece. The limit. They've slapped a daily cap of 20,000 visitors with hourly zones. If you miss your 15-minute entry window in the Greek summer heat, good luck. Why it's overrated? It's an exposed rock with zero shade in 100-degree heat. You'll spend more time fighting for a selfie angle than looking at history. Go instead. Delphi. Take a trip into the mountains to the center of the ancient world. The setting is dramatic, the ruins are spectacular, and while it's popular, it lacks the chaotic zoo energy of the Acropolis. Comparison. The Acropolis is for the gram. Delphi is for the soul. Quick question. Have you ever traveled somewhere famous and immediately wished you'd stayed home? Tell me which destination broke your heart in the comments below. I read them all. At number 7, the Rose City, Petra, Jordan. The limit. While hard caps are loose, the experience limit is real. Prices have skyrocketed. Entry alone is around 70 USD, and the crowds in the Seek, the narrow entrance, are suffocating by 9 a.m. Why it's overrated? It's not Indiana Jones anymore. It's a gauntlet of aggressive donkey handlers and vendors selling cheap trinkets. The magic is buried under the hustle. Go instead. Hegra, Alula, Saudi Arabia. It was built by the exact same Nabatean civilization. The tombs are just as impressive, but it's strictly regulated, quiet, and feels like a true discovery. It's expensive, but you're paying for luxury and silence, not harassment. At numerator 6, Mount Fuji, Japan. The limit. This is huge for 2026. They've installed a physical gate on the most popular trail and capped daily hikers at 4,000. They're also charging a mandatory fee. No reservation, no climb. Why it's overrated. Climbing Fuji is mostly staring at the backpack of the person in front of you for 6 hours on dusty volcanic ash. It's not a hike, it's a queue. Go instead. Mount Yote, Hokkaido. It looks almost identical to Fuji. It's called Ezo Fuji. It's lush, green, uncrowded, and free to hike. You get the view without the vending machines at the summit. At number 5, Dubrovnik, Croatia. The limit. They are heavily capping cruise ship arrivals to save the old town from sinking under the weight of tourism. But even with caps, the streets are unwalkable in summer. Why it's overrated. You are paying $10 for a coffee and $40 just to walk on the city walls. It feels like a Game of Thrones theme park, not a living city. Go instead. Kotor, Montenegro. It's a short drive south. You get the same Venetian architecture, a more dramatic fjord-like bay, and walls you can hike for a much lower fee. It's what Dubrovnik was 20 years ago. Keep watching because the restrictions at number 2 are going to double your budget instantly. At number 4, the mighty Angkor Wat, Cambodia. The limit. While the complex is huge, access to the central tower, Akan, is strictly limited. You have to queue for hours in humidity for a 15-minute look. Why it's overrated. The sunrise spiritual moment is shared with 10,000 other people holding iPads. The ticket prices keep creeping up for foreigners, approaching $40 to $60 for a pass. Go instead. Sukhothai, Thailand, or Koh Ker, Cambodia. Sukhothai offers stunning walkable ruins with lakes and zero crowds. Koh Ker is a pyramid temple deep in the jungle that just got UNESCO status. Go now before everyone else does. We are down to the top 3. These are the destinations that are practically declaring war on budget travelers in 2026. At number 3, Venice, Italy. The limit. The entry fee for day trippers is in full effect and likely expanding dates for 2026. They are desperate to reduce the numbers. Why it's overrated. It smells in the summer. The food near St. Mark's is a criminal ripoff, and you're basically walking in a single-file line over every bridge. Go instead. Chioggia. It's at the southern end of the same lagoon. It has canals, bridges, and old boats, but it's a working fishing town. You can eat incredible seafood for $20 instead of $120, and the locals actually still live there. At number 2, Komodo Island, Indonesia. The limit. The government has been trying to hike the entry fee from $10 to nearly $250 to limit visitor numbers to 200,000 a year. In 2026, expect strict quotas and mandatory guided groups that cost a fortune. Why it's overrated. You fly all the way there to stand in a circle around a sleepy lizard while a ranger holds a stick. It feels staged. Go instead. Raja Ampat. If you have the budget, skip the lizards and go to the world's best diving destination. It's remote, pristine, and limits visitors naturally by being hard to get to. It's the ocean's final frontier. And finally, at number 1, the ultimate bucket list breaker. Machu Picchu, Peru. The limit. In 2026, The days of wandering freely are dead. You must choose a specific circuit, 1, 2, or 3, when you buy your ticket. You cannot backtrack. You have a 4-hour time limit. If you pick the wrong circuit, you miss the classic photo spot entirely. Why it's overrated? It is a logistical nightmare involving trains, buses, and lines that start at 4 a.m. It is strictly controlled conveyor belt tourism. Go instead. Choquequirao. It's known as the sister city of Machu Picchu. It's bigger, wilder, and receives about 1% of the visitors. The catch? You have to hike for 2 days to get there. But in 2026, a cable car is rumored to be in the works. So this is literally your last chance to see it before it becomes the next Machu Picchu. If you want to dodge the crowds, you have to be smarter than the average tourist. Which of these go instead alternatives would you actually book? Let me know in the comments. And listen, avoiding crowds is only half the battle. You also need to know where you'll get the most bang for your buck next year. Click this video right here on the cities that are about to go viral in 2026. It's got the itinerary ideas you need to save money and travel better. I'll see you over there.